Listen, we are back. Make sure you like this video as you are coming in. Make sure you like it. Thank you. What is up, y'all? Scroll brand new. And honey, I am back in the building. Listen, this time, honey, I am back. Look, with a new microphone, honey, for the people that say they can't hear me. Can you hear me right now? Okay, am I coming through real clear right now? I can't let a nut. Who was that? That was Nikki. I can't let a whack get near me. Okay? Oh my God. I love Nikki's verse on that. But, honey, we back in the building to talk about Miss Love and Marriage Huntsville, honey. Yes, Miss Single Love and Marriage Huntsville. Okay? They say it's for the couples, but Miss Love and Marriage Huntsville, honey, it make you want to be single, honey, okay? It's like, if this is what being married, if this is what being entangled is about, honey, I don't want no parts, okay? The episode picked up where it left off, you guys, with Ken trying to get at Marquez. Ken, it looked like you turned into the Incredible Hulk. It looked like you've been ready to fight that man. Marquez was scared as hell. He was trying to play it off, honey. The sun comes down the stairs, child. It's a mess, okay? So Marquez leaves saying that the people got him all effed up. It's just really sad that the son sees all of this. I didn't like how they accused him of just walking into their home. It's like, production told that man to open that door, and this is all y'all got. I don't know. At first, you guys, I thought I had a pretty good read on Ken and Trisha, and they're in love, and Marquez is the crazy, bitter, jealous ex. You know what I'm saying? But all of them is just crazy. Okay? All of them is just a fool. It's like, Trisha, do you still have feelings for Marquez? Okay? It seemed like she has some unfinished business with him. I still see the feelings between Marquez and Trisha. And I saw a preview of Marceau and Maurice talking to Ken. Like, you don't get what's going on. Like, she still has not divorced this man. It don't look like she's in a hurry to divorce him. Yeah, Ken, you gotta look at that. You gotta look at that. We have Kimmi and Maurice. They talk about how Jaylin never saw Maurice as a father figure. I'm not shocked. Okay, hell, Maurice barely played a good dad to Monster. Okay? Y'all remember when they was out at them cabins and he was trying to get Kimmi to raise his son? Okay, she didn't just got done finished raising Jaylin, and yeah, I knew Maurice wasn't no damn good from then. And I always felt that Jaylin didn't see it for Maurice. He says he sees him more as a mentor. And honey, that's the kind thing to say, because not with your ass out here getting DUIs. Okay, looking like a mustard bottle. Okay, listen. So, yeah, it's a fool. Maurice should be ashamed of himself. And he wondered why I never took any advice from him. Absolutely. He'll hoodbugger and he ain't no good, and Kimmi need to wisen up and leave him. 'Cause he ain't no damn good. He only care about himself. Him and his brother. I dealt with the other brother. Gave him, some money to help pay the damn child support, 'cause, he from the first floor. I tried to be a good friend to Mark, but he took my kindness for weakness. And everybody knows that you don't take mama's kindness for weakness. Okay, my mama ain't like me. She ain't gonna be out here dealing with no demon. I didn't even know my demon was a demon at the time. Okay? But I digress. What the hell is Martell doing? Talking about his moving at Hoodbugger end. Not near my grandchildren. Okay? They do not want to deal with that beast-looking woman. Okay? She is not. It is not safe to look at her in the daytime. Okay? So, I don't know what Martell is doing. It just look like don't nobody want his broke ass no more. Okay? His old non-can-pass abilities license test ass. Okay? Don't nobody want his ass no more. Now he over there, okay, with that demon-looking girl, Miss DW herself. I said it, and I'm not taking it back. Okay? She a hood booger. She don't have no manners, and I don't want my grandkids around her. They don't like that woman, if it is a woman. Okay? Don't look like it. Okay? I see the Adam's apple on her. I see the Adam's apple. You can't tell me no difference. Okay? So I just know that Martell could get a better woman down to the first floor because, let's be honest, don't nobody want his ass but her. Okay? But, yeah, Martell and Ariane, damn hood bookers. Absolutely. I'm so glad I'm up off this show and out of that burning house, Mama. I'm just so glad Lord has made a way. It's okay, Melody. Mama, I'm just so glad to be away from that demon. Don't cry, Melody, don't cry. I'm just so happy, Mama. I got this joy down in my heart, Mama. I'm just so happy. And then I don't have to be around dumbass Latifah anymore. You know, I don't have to worry about her stealing all my ideas. Oh, Mel, you got a black ass though. You was over there trying to use my cousin. Shut up, bitch. I miss my girl. Shout out to Kiki, baby. I miss Kiki, y'all. That is my baby. She was everything that Letitia wasn't. I said, come on, bitch, and call it out. Because Tisha couldn't just skate by, honey, with Kiki, child. Let's get back to this review. Let me stop playing around. This show is a little boring, so if I have to do voice impressions, goddammit, for us to get through it, then that's what I gotta do, okay? So, back to Maurice and Kimmi and Jaylin. So, Jaylin actually sees Marceau as a father figure. Isn't that interesting? Tisha feels like Jaylin sees Marceau more as a father figure because they've worked together at Black and, you know, I guess some other places. And he's around Marceau more. That's interesting. And Kimmi, you don't see a problem with that? She did try to come to Jaylin's side and say that, you know, Maurice doesn't put himself out there enough with the children. He doesn't, he's not hands-on as a dad. No, because he think you're supposed to do all the damn work. Okay? We also see a conversation between Jaylin and Maurice where Jaylin felt like Maurice was always trying to put him to work and get him to do chores around the house. Monster never had to do nothing. He, of course, felt like Monster was his favorite because Monster is his real son. You know, a lot of people do show favoritism towards the child that is, that biologically, you know, came from them. So I felt like that was a good point. Some people, though, can be better to their stepchildren, though, than their real children. So it's, you know, all in the situation and the people in it, and it's a case-by-case situation, honey. But, yeah, I believe Jaylin. You know, Jaylin is being offered a job in another state, and he's thinking about taking it. He kind of feels like he done did Huntsville. There's nothing, you know, here for him. And I wish Jaylin all the best in the future. But I love how he read Maurice his damn rights. I love it. And Maurice standing there looking all stupid and confused. And, child, are you going to change your behavior? Do y'all think that Maurice is going to change his damn behavior? I don't see it. Next, we got Miss Nail. She tells Chris she needs to talk to Destiny about her comments on how Destiny needs to reevaluate their relationship. Y'all know Miss Nail invited Sonny to her birthday party. Destiny planned it and didn't want Sonny to be there. Destiny, I feel like you shouldn't have even really been upset. You over there hanging out with Ariane, knowing damn well she calls Melody and Martell. Well, not Martell, okay. But you know damn well she caused Melody a lot of pain when Melody was over there married to Martell. And know you and Melody are not friends anymore, but I still feel like it's disrespectful for you to be around her. Well, what am I supposed to do if she's at the house? And you don't have to fraternize with her. You ain't got to socialize with her ass. Just ask Martell when the next time she gonna be back in her cage, and then you come over there and talk to Martell down to the first floor, honey. Okay, there's a way to do things. So I'm with Melody. I would never trust Destiny again. I would never have anything to do, with Destiny. She's a user. She's an opportunist. She shows, like, loyalty to people that's on her level, like Martell. Okay, I mean, I'm just saying, listen, Destiny gives me, like, if you're doing better than her in life, I don't know, she gives me, like, she will resent you for that, and she can't show up and be the friend you need. She's the friend that needs to be rescued all the time. So Kimmi invites all the ladies out for drinks. Kimmi says Miss Nail was very friendly when she called, and she should call her a little bit more often. I don't know why, Kimmi, you don't like Miss Nail. You don't like to be challenged. You don't like that people can see you, and all your bullshit, and see Latifah for who and what she is. This tension between Miss Nail and Kimmi and Latifah, it reminded me of how Melody felt when she was on the show, and I hope Miss Nail knows what Melody had to go through with these two, because these two women are fake as hell. I'm talking about Kimmi and Latifah. They don't never want to talk about how their man could be out here cheating on them, but they want to laugh and throw it in your face, all the shit that your man did to you. It's a whole bunch of double standards. It's a whole bunch of negativity, a whole bunch of confusion, and God is not the author of confusion. Tisha and Kimmi is, honey. But yeah, I just saw the double standards when they was all, out drinking. Trisha tells the ladies that Marquez just walked into their home without knocking. Tisha says that's rude when that's not really what happened. Did you tell them how your friend was cussing the man out? You didn't tell them that, Trisha. Trisha is the girl that lies by omission. She leaves shit out, adds shit in, and don't tell everything. And I mean that literally and figuratively. Trisha tells the ladies why Marquez contested the divorce papers and how Ken and Marquez almost came to blows. It was more like Ken acting like the Incredible Hulk, and Marquez, look, he got his ass up out of there because he don't want the problems. Okay? Kimmi tells the ladies that Jaylin told her that he doesn't see Maurice as a father figure. He sees Marceau more like a father figure. Kimmi has said that Jaylin, he only reaches out to those that reaches out to him, and she feels like Maurice never really tried to have that relationship with him. Why are you married to him then? When would you go talk to your man about this? Kimmi gives me, and I knew something was wrong with their damn marriage when I saw her with that damn support dog. I wonder if she got another one, okay? But Kimmi gives me, I'm willing to keep the peace and keep quiet and not say how I really feel to please my man. So she's over there, just like Latifah, keeping it all inside, honey, not holding these men accountable and responsible for their bad behavior towards their children. Your child basically feels like this man is a mentor. Anybody could be his damn mentor. His stepdad, he shouldn't feel like that. He should feel like, that's his father. He can, and not to take the place of his original father, but he should see him as a father by now. He's been in the household, he's been in y'all life for long enough for him to feel comfortable with Maurice, and he doesn't, Kimmi. And you don't see that this is a problem, or now all of a sudden you see it's a problem because you're hearing it from Jaylin. But 9 times out of 10, you already picked up on that energy and chose to bow down and acquiesce and be silent about it, Kimmi. But y'all want to all be up in Mel's face, okay? Make it make sense. Kimmi says that this thing with Jaylin, it really bothered Maurice. Tisha says he probably sees Marceau like that because Jaylin and Marceau, have worked, together at several places and they spend more time together. Kimmi says Maurice is very hands off with Jaylin. Kimmi asks as if she knows how to hold everybody accountable but Maurice. That's what I have in my notes. Tisha and Kimmi tell Miss Nail she ditched them in LA. Miss Nail says she had no choice. She found out Lance had a baby. I guess he spent the block with an ex, got her pregnant. Miss Nail says she had just found out he had a baby on the way. Little Chris, he had a baby too. Both babies are 5 months apart. Tisha says she was side-eyeing Miss Nail. She felt like Miss Nail supported Destiny dating Lance. Miss Nail says she was for Lance and Destiny dating at first. Miss Nail says Tisha, Esquire Scott, has a lot of questions, and she has a lot of questions for her too. I was cracking up when she called Tisha Esquire. Because that's how Latifah acts. She has all these questions and judgments and critiques and criticisms for you. You ask her as one thing, she deflecting. She got an attitude. She don't want to talk about it. Like I said, you guys, it's a whole bunch of double standards having a relationship with Tisha and Kimmi, and they go wear Miss Nail out. Okay? They go wear her out. But I love Miss Nail, and how she's calling out Tisha and Kimmi about their husbands allegedly cheating on them. Nail asked them straight up about the video Martell did with Ariane. Kimmi says she doesn't believe it's true. Tisha, she gets so offended, but it's okay for her to call out Miss Nail. Miss Nail felt like Tisha was deflecting, asking her how she feels about it. She like, bitch, I don't know. I'm not married to Marceau. You are. Okay. Trisha says it looked fake. Kimmi says it was a bad depiction. I bet it was. Okay. Y'all see how they skate around? They don't never, I don't know. They don't never give you how they really feel. Everything, is an act. But if this was Melody and Martell, they would have so much to say. Because that is their whole point of being on this show, to live vicariously through, it was Mel and Martell. Now it'll be the Fletchers and these other people, honey. Watch. Trisha says Tisha's interview with Carlos had her cracking up. And Tisha said, yep, and I spoke facts. Girl, you ain't spoke on Martell no more, I noticed, after he came out with that girl. Martell clapped back on your ass, and you didn't like it. Latifah, she was probably like, Martell got a black ass though, just like Mel. I can't stand neither one of them. Miss Wanda probably was like, I'll get him, Tisha, I'll get him. You better rack it 5. Don't be messing with my daughter. I'm going to bake you a potato, honey, to make you feel better, honey. Okay, a mess. Both of them probably just start misspelling shit. acted a fool, child. Tisha says her and Marceau went live on IG in response to Martell's interview with the side chick, the alleged side chick. Tisha gets defensive in her confessional, saying she doesn't feel Miss Nail is being transparent. I said, ain't this about a bitch? Tisha, didn't you already get your ass hung out to dry for saying that Big Lou and Tiff wasn't transparent? You the motherfucker on here that's not being transparent. I'm sorry, y'all, but she was, when I tell you she was working my damn nerves, I'm like, you calling people out for shit that you do. Okay? For shit that's a representation of who you are. Whew, let me calm down. Tisha gets defensive in her confessional, saying she doesn't feel like Miss Nail is being transparent. There's so much tea out here in the streets concerning Miss Nail, but she ain't go bring it up. Why not, bitch? It's a show. You must ain't got nothing. Tisha and Kimmi are treating Miss Nail how they treated Melody. See, it's all in the notes, honey. They want to be in her business, but don't want her in theirs. Tisha brings up Chris accusing Marceau and Maurice of signing an NDA, of having the side chick sign an NDA. Nail says she's not accountable for what her husband says or does. Kimmi says Maurice felt a way. Oh, the fuck well. Jaylin over there, Kimmi, feeling a way about your husband. Okay, how about that? So they get to talking about what Chris said, and Maurice knew about the infidelity that Chris put Miss Nail through, but he never commented on it and joked about it. Oh, and real quick, Miss Nail is claiming that she didn't know about Lance getting his ex-girlfriend, I guess, of 5 years pregnant. You know, she found out when everybody else found out on social media. That's why she left LA, you know, quick, fast, and in a hurry. She didn't hang out with Tisha and Kimmi. And I think that Tisha and Kimmi are making it seem like, oh, Miss Nail knew about this relationship that her son was having with this woman while he was dating Destiny. Miss Nail says she has nothing to do with Destiny and Lance's relationship or non-relationship. Remember, when they were at the reunion, I got the feeling from Miss Nail that she didn't see Destiny in her son's future long term. And like, once again, you know, this thing is playing out with Destiny. We seen it with Moses. We seen it with La Barbecue. It's like, don't nobody want you, sis. Like, nobody. You are, you know, I don't know. I don't want to say damaged goods, but it's kind of looking like that. Like Moses really wasn't about shit. Not to me, so I don't even know if that counts. But Moses did say some stuff that I do believe. He said that she always plays the victim. She always is looking for a handout. It's always, woe is me, feel sorry for me. I do get that from Destiny. Even though I don't see it for Moses, I do feel like that was true. With what he said about her, like she's a one-sided person. She's all about what she can get from you, and it's, you know, she loves being in relationships where she doesn't have to reciprocate. We saw that in her relationship with Mel. She was here for Mel here and there, but it was kind of like Melody that was doing more for her. And she was, you know, trying to stab Melody in the back, because this is the thing. You can't really be friends with people that are not on your level. And when I talk about on your level, most people feel like, yeah, but I make as much money. You can make more than somebody and not be on their level from a maturity standpoint, from how you carry yourself, how you conduct yourself. Are you able to maintain other relationships in your life? Are your other relationships harmonious? Are they positive? Is it give and take there? Do you see what I'm saying? So the amount of money, and a lot of people like to hide under how much money they make, or I live in a certain area and I wear designer, and anybody can do any of that. That is some basic shit, but it will always come down to how you carry yourself. How do you treat people? Do you reciprocate in your friendships and your relationships? Destiny always has these long distance relationships because, you know, it's a way, I feel, of protecting herself, and that way she can, you know, like live through the smoke and mirrors of not really sharing, you know, who she really is with these men. So it's like, yep, I'm a pretty face, I'm gonna keep them at a distance. I don't really want them. And it's okay to not want to be with your man every day. Like, I am a believer in that. You don't have to be up under somebody every day. But I think that she keeps men at a distance for more of her benefit than anything. That way she can control, you know, the narrative. So she even made a joke about how and why she dates men long distance. So I don't know. But yeah, for Destiny to try to get mad at Miss Nail and try to have an attitude with Miss Nail because her son got somebody pregnant. Miss Nail wasn't right next to them when they were fucking, and she didn't tell him, get this bitch pregnant. Like, how you go blame Miss Nail? I don't like that. To me, that's kind of lazy, you know? So next we have this scene with Ken, Will, and Chris Fletcher. Ken has invited, you know, the guys to talk to him about his situation with Trisha and Marquez. Ken keeps trying to tell the guys only Marquez is the issue, not Trisha. Him and Trisha normally do well together. They get along with each other really good, and they only have an issue when Marquez comes around, and the guys, Will and Chris, are trying to point out the obvious to him, like, dude, but she's still married. Like, that says a lot. Like, if people wanted to get a divorce, they would have been got it. And Ken doesn't want to hear that. They keep trying to let him know, maybe you should let this go. That way you don't end up hurt in the long term, investing, you know, so much into this situation. I feel like Ken likes this situation. There are men that they get off on taking care of a woman financially to kind of make themselves feel good. Like I told y'all, he will always have a bad taste in my mouth because he threw that stuff in Trisha's face. And to me, that's financial abuse. Because that's your woman. Who else is supposed to help her get her car fixed, make sure her and the kids eat, and gets transported here, there, everywhere? That's your job. You the man of the house, right? You know, so, and I think that Ken is also jealous of Marquez, because deep down, I think he feels like Trisha still has feelings for him, but he doesn't want to say that because he don't want to look like a sucker. And it's one of those situations where he has invested so much into this situation to the point where it's like, it's hard to walk away now. You know what I'm saying? We've all kind of been there in a relationship where you feel like you gave and gave and gave. And you don't want to walk away with nothing. You know, you've invested so much. So yeah, I feel like that's where, you know, that's where Ken is right now. But all these guys, they, you know, like Maurice, Marceau, Chris, Will, they all see what Ken needs to do. He needs to leave Trisha alone and let her and Marquez work out their finished business. Because it seemed like, their unfinished business. Because it does give that there is some unfinished business between these two. Oh, it's funny because Ken was telling Chris and Will how quick Lance got his gym painted. And Chris was like, I wish he would move like that for his mother. And Ken was like, well, I guess money talk. Chris said, shit, she's spending money on his ass too. Money do talk. Y'all know how y'all family try to play y'all. Y'all know they don't mind asking for money, but when you are in need of help, honey, they will act like they can't hear you. Okay, that's how they be acting. I thought that was funny though. So Ken lets the guys know that, what really bothered him is that Marquez just walked up in the house and, he feels like because he was bringing his daughter home, him and Ken is real cool. And, and I don't know, is it me, you guys, or is Ken and Trisha putting 20 on 10? It's like, I've seen so many guys in this situation. It's not a big deal for him. Does the girl have a key to the house? Was the door already open? Why was your door open? Okay? Y'all know the girl is going to be out with her father. I don't feel like it's a big deal like that. I feel like I'm old school. If you want somebody to knock, lock your damn door. But if you got it open, y'all shooting this damn TV show, production telling the man to walk in, what we doing? So Ken tells Will he wasn't even there. He was on the road. Exactly, you wasn't there. Trisha likes this triangulation sandwich that she has with Marquez and Ken. There are women that literally fucking get off on triangulating men, getting them to argue, getting them to not get along, telling one what the other said. Like, she didn't like that they were getting along, that they were actually getting some clarity in their relationship. Trisha didn't like that. That's why immediately when Ken and Marquez got into it in the confessional, you hear her telling Ken, see, I told you so, see. It's like, girl. So Ken says he's trying to cater to Marquez's feelings and his emotions. Chris says, I don't know why you're not trying to marry him. I love that Chris told him it does not take 7 or 8 years to move on. Because Ken was trying to say normally people move on first before they get divorced. That does happen sometimes. Will feels like Ken feels like all of this is a challenge to him and he won't leave because he feels like it's a big puzzle to him. And there are men that have this savior complex. They are always trying to save some woman. Sometimes it's worth it, and sometimes it's not. It's a waste of time. So Chris Fletcher asks Will what would he do if he was in Ken's situation. And Will says Trisha would have been a thing of the past. Yeah, and it's not because, she's not a beautiful woman. It's not because Trisha is a bad person, even though Trisha be lying. She do have some qualities about her that I like. I like how fit she is, honey, okay? But the whole situation just doesn't make sense. It's beginning to look like she still has feelings for her ex. She's getting off. I've literally seen this before where this woman was getting off on these two men, fighting over her, arguing over her, instead of making a real decision about this situation and getting the fucking divorce. And then y'all may need to put up a boundary to where Marquez, let him come get his kids. Y'all ain't involved. If y'all don't want him in the house, he could wait for them outside. Okay? Like, there is a way to do things, but yeah, everybody feel like Ken is holding on. Okay? Even though the love is gone, and that's no lie. Okay? So we see this conversation between Marceau, Maurice, and Kimmi. They're talking about the whole Jaylin situation and Maurice. Kimmi admitted that she felt like Maurice was harder on Jaylin. I know we heard Jaylin say that, but I forgot this part where Kimmi says she felt like Maurice treated Jaylin different than Monster. This was even before Monster moved in. And it's like, why did you continue a marriage or a relationship with this man? Like, couldn't be me, honey. Kimmi says she felt like Jaylin felt like Marceau liked him more. Marceau, spent more time with him. Maurice only fussed at him. He was only there to critique him. So Marceau says he feels like Maurice was the golden child and Monster is the golden child 2.0. Child. Marceau is trying to get at Maurice. I like that Marceau said that Maurice isn't the easiest to talk to. We even see in the upcoming episode that Jaylin calls Maurice out for trying to run a dictatorship and trying to cover it up in the name of family. And it's like, nigga, it's not giving. And if it's not giving, it's not gonna, it's not gonna cause Jaylin to have a feeling, okay? What do I always say? You got to get a people what they want. When people are telling you specifically that they want something from you and you're not giving it, you're cheating that person out of a experience. So